I've been running a software consultancy for the past 3 years, and this video is about how to use technology in your business if you don't do a lot of that right now. First step is pick a problem, pick some area where you're losing a lot of time. Where do you spend a bunch of your time either doing repetitive tasks or stuff that you wish you could do more of, and it's very repetitive, but you don't just have enough time right now, or some kind of data collection process that you're doing that's pretty manual right now. Like, these are excellent areas to use more technology. I would caveat this by saying avoid trying to automate stuff that involves your personality. So I generally recommend against automating the human side of things because there's so much more technology nowadays. It's really easy to lose that human touch. And to be able to maintain that, I think that differentiates you from other businesses. You want to automate stuff on the back end, behind the scenes, but you want to continue to do the stuff that provides kind of your personal touch. And so, I don't want to try to automate personalization or something like that. That's not what we're trying to do here. Now, let's say that you spend a lot of time tracking invoices and tracking expenses and income and cash flow and things like that. It's really worthwhile to track all that information because it can give you a lot of insight into your business, but it's really, really troublesome. Next thing you want to do is figure out how you're going to automate that kind of solution. Now, if you're non-technical, generally, I would recommend speaking to somebody who is a little bit more technical. We do free consultations, like entirely free, no expectations to do any kind of project with us, but we try and help businesses do this part for free as a kind of tech workshop. But find somebody who can help you figure out the steps to implement that. What kind of tools you want to use, what are the things that you're going to need in order to make that automation a possibility. Now, generally, for example, for my expense tracking, I use Airtable. That's something that I find really useful. And I use a tool called Lindy.ai to basically read my emails. Whenever I get an email about a new transaction from my bank, it adds this to the Airtable and it sends me a Slack notification. I built this out for free. You can too. I'm not going to make exact tutorials how, but you can find tutorials all over the internet, and I can make a free guide or something and put it up on a Notion page on how to build this kind of automation. So this is a really, really simple automation that's super useful and can save you a bunch of time. Setting that up is not that hard, but it's important to understand what the end goal is. And in my case, it was, I don't want to have to add transactions manually to my Airtable. And so I was just automating that bit. But for example, how to set up your Airtable and whatever, you want to find somebody who might be a little bit more technical who can help you out if you're non-technical, because I just think it saves you the time of learning everything. If you want to learn it yourself, best recommendation I can give you is build the most basic version of the system that you need. Don't use templates and just build it yourself. And over time, you're going to learn to use that tool. The third step is kind of rinse and repeat. If you continue to do this week over week, you're going to be able to save a lot of time and use a lot more technology in your business. And so you can use this in, for example, creating marketing content ideas, in automating your expense tracking, in client communication, in team surveys. Like, there are so many ways that you can create workflows and things like that that will just automate a lot of your business and just leave you to focus on the growth and the marketing and the sales and the fulfillment, whatever it is that's most important for you right now. It's never been easier to automate business, but it's also never been more confusing. There's so many tools and so many questions that I think that part is really, really hard, but this is kind of a framework to A, identify what areas of your business you should probably try and automate, and then B, kind of how to go about automating that as a non-technical person or founder. I generally recommend speaking to somebody who's technical. Most people know somebody, right, who at least has some idea. And if you don't, feel free to reach out to us. We try and help businesses for this part completely for free. And then if you want help implementing as well, you can pay people on Fiverr. There's lots of providers. That's the stuff that we get paid to do as well. You want to just ask somebody what tools that you want to use and things like that, or you can ask GPT as well. That's a really good one. And then just rinse and repeat and just make sure the system works. And if you identify another thing where you're wasting a lot of time, over time, you could be saving literally tens of hours a week. If you save, let's say, an hour a day, over time, you're saving 200 to 300 hours over the course of a year. 200 to 300 hours is several work weeks of 40 hours each. It is a massive, massive time-saving thing. If you are running a small business and you want to stay lean and operate really efficiently, this stuff is absolutely crucial. Getting my expense tracking handled for me was one of the best things I could have done because I don't need to worry about staying massively on top of that anymore because I make sure I get email notifications. Those go straight to my Airtable. The category is done. The amount, the values, and the date, all that is filled in for me. So super useful. Anyway, feel free to comment any questions if you have them. I hope this was somewhat helpful at least.